What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this prediction video. For this one, we have a massive showdown taking place this Sunday on the 7th of April as Manchester United host Liverpool at Old Trafford. Now, last time United and Liverpool went head to head was 2 weeks ago on the 17th of March in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Both sides were, I would say, on an even playing field, as there was no sort of league form coming into this, and when it comes to cup fixtures, it really is just a case of who's better on the day. And it looked like Manchester United started things off very, very well when in the 10th minute, Scott McTominay was able to just tap in a rebound after a fantastic strike is taken at Keller, but he can't keep his hands on it. And McTominay is just there to pick up the pieces. But Liverpool fought back, and in the 44th minute, Alexis McAllister is played in by Darwin Núñez, and he plays a fantastic strike into the top corner, leaving Andre Onana absolutely no chance. The Reds then turned the match on its head when in the second minute of injury time in the first half, Manchester United just defended very clumsily on the left wing, then lost the ball. It was played into their box, a shot was taken, and Salah was just there to pick up the pieces. With the score at 2-1, Manchester United knew they had a lot of work to do in the second half, and they did try, and eventually, in the 87th minute, Anthony, of all people, is played into the box. There's a lot of bodies around him, but he manages to turn and shoot, and it's not really a powerful shot, but I think the goalkeeper's blindsided, and there is enough curl on it to put it into the bottom corner. This now forces the match to extra time. And in the 105th minute, which is, call it on the stroke of halftime in extra time, Harvey Elliott put Liverpool ahead once again. A fantastic shot from range on the left wing that gets a bit of a kind deflection and just sees it past Onana into the back of Manchester United's net. But, in typical Manchester United fashion, Marcus Rashford stepped up, and in the 112th minute, he was played in by Scott McTominay and just managed to slot the ball past the keeper. And in the most dramatic finale ever, in the first minute of injury time, this is 120 minutes of football already played, so essentially the 121st minute of football, Amad Diallo of all players, getting the ball on the end of a Manchester United counter-attack that leaves Liverpool completely at 6s and 7s, and he just manages to cut it across the goalpost into the bottom corner. And the match ending 4-3 to Manchester United. A absolute 7-goal thriller at Old Trafford. Both sides did, I would say, enough to justify a place in the semi-final, but on the day it was Manchester United who came home with the victory. We start off our team analysis with the home side, Manchester United. Now, the last 5 fixtures for the Red Devils have ended in 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. Their last match was a disgusting, in my opinion, 4-3 loss against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge last night. United found themselves down, then they found themselves on level terms, then they found themselves ahead. And in the space of 8 minutes of injury time, they just let everything fall apart. I think a player who's still standing out for Manchester United, but I think in recent weeks who struggled to do so, is still Rasmus Højlund. With 13 goals and 2 assists, he's still their top scorer. He's still the man who should be getting the goals for them. But if you look at him during that Chelsea match, he's looking isolated again. During a period where he was getting goals, it was as if he was part of the team. But now again, it's just kind of like he's just a distraction for opposition defenders. Next up, I want to talk Alejandro Garnacho. Now, while Højlund has been getting quite a bit of attention from defenders, it looks like Garnacho has found himself in quite a bit of space out wide lately. And he's been able to capitalize on the space, getting good goals, getting assists, and just being a threat all around. And finally, I want to talk Bruno Fernandes with 9 goals and 9 assists. Bruno Fernandes still, I think, is not doing enough. Against Chelsea, he may have gotten a goal, but at that point where it was 3-3 and they were in those 8 minutes of injury time, instead of looking to see the match out, I once again saw Bruno Fernandes looking for penalties, looking for set pieces, going back into that old mentality where I personally think he doesn't believe that his team can score from open play. So I think he genuinely believes they need penalties to win games. Next up, we look at the away side. Now, for Liverpool, the last 5 matches have ended in 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Their last match was a 3-1 win at home at Anfield against Sheffield United. Liverpool were in a bit of, I would say, dicey territory because it was 1-0 to them, then it was 1-1. But they managed to see the match out, and that's all that matters. But they had to grind for it, and they proved that unlike their opposition on Sunday, they were able to grind out for it. Standout player for Liverpool, obviously, Mohamed Salah with 22 goals and 13 assists. I don't think anybody can still look at Salah, even if he doesn't score in his last 5 games. I don't think anybody can look at Salah and think he's not a threat. He can just score a variety of goals, but just being the player that he is warrants attention from the opposition defense. Next up, I want to talk Darwin Núñez with 18 goals and 14 assists. Darwin Núñez did step up in Salah's absence when he was away at the AFCON and when he was away injured. And it looks like he's still doing so. Darwin Núñez has flourished in whatever role he has to play for Liverpool, whether it's goal scorer or creative mind. He just looks like, I would say right now, a fantastic attacking player who can do pretty much anything that Jurgen Klopp asks of him. And finally, I want to talk Virgil van Dijk. Now, with 4 goals and 2 assists, I think Van Dijk came up short against the pace of players like Antony and Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho. So I think it just kind of left him floundering a bit, just unable to keep up with them in terms of their pace. So I think he's going to be dealing with that once again. Van Dijk provides both stability in the back, but also a bit of attacking threat from set pieces for Liverpool, as well as that massive leadership role. Next up, we look at the head-to-head and the S3M2 Verdict. Now, the last 5 fixtures between these two sides somehow have ended in 3 wins for Manchester United, 1 win for Liverpool, and 1 draw between them. When we look at the league table right now, Liverpool are sitting at the summit of the log, first with 70 points. Manchester United still vying for European spots, but finding themselves in 6th place on 48 points. So there's a massive contrast in form here. Coming into this match as well, Manchester United in their last 5 have scored 11 goals, but they've conceded 11 as well. So as much as they can do damage up front, they sort of shoot themselves by being so flimsy and fragile at the back. When you look at Liverpool, however, they scored 15 goals. Remember, 6 against Sparta Praha in the Europa Cup or Europa League. But they've conceded 8, which means Liverpool also are looking kind of leaky at the back. In actual fact, it's been quite a while since the Reds have actually kept a clean sheet. When we look at their form coming into this as well, I think it's very important for us to acknowledge that Liverpool have played 4 of those games at home. The only one they lost was the one away from home, which they played at Old Trafford. So Manchester United, I say, have a bit of psychological edge in that sense. But when you look at United, on the other hand, it's been so erratic, so inconsistent, and it's putting all of them under pressure. As I said earlier on in my team analysis for Manchester United, I think that genuinely, as a captain, I don't think Bruno Fernandes believes in his team anymore. I don't think that he believes they can score from open play. And then you contrast that with somebody like Virgil van Dijk, who just by virtue of being on the pitch, inspires his team so much, just with his mentality and his performance and his drive. Curiously, however, when we look at the head-to-head and these two teams and their record against each other, United have won those last 3, but they were all played at Old Trafford. And then you remember this one is also played at Old Trafford. So once again, we look at that psychological edge that the Red Devils perhaps have coming into this one. Liverpool had to fight back from a possibly dangerous situation against Sheffield United, but they proved that they have that kind of grit and determination to grind out results. When it was 2-1, Sheffield still came at them, but I think once it was 3-1, it was over and done with. With Manchester United, however, complete contrast. Against Chelsea, in the first 20 minutes, they were 2-0 down. Then they found themselves all square at 2-2 at halftime, before United took the lead and made it 3-2. And then they gave away a penalty in injury time. Fair enough, it was 8 minutes of injury time, which is quite a bit, but they gave away a very clumsy and very careless penalty. And Cole Palmer stepped up to score it, and then Cole Palmer stepped up again to complete his hat-trick and make it 4-3 to Chelsea. I think that just shows that Manchester United, when you sort of put pressure on them, they kind of collapse. Their defense is so unsure of themselves. The ball was in the box, and there was a point where United actually kicked the ball from their left back across, and it ended up at Cole Palmer. And I just looked at it and I thought, what is going on here? There's absolutely no cohesion. There's no game plan when it comes to defending. When you look at Liverpool as well, McAllister has started to come to the party in terms of that midfielder that Liverpool needed, who can convert chances. He did score against Sheffield United. When you look at United, Anthony has started to get going as well, scoring against Liverpool, and he got an assist against Chelsea as well. I think it was very sad that Garnacho was taken off for Mason Mount, and he was on a brace. And as I said, the score was 3-2 to Manchester United at the time. And Mason Mount came on, and it was as if whatever threat Garnacho provided for Manchester United out wide was just gone. I think United, this clumsiness in terms of defending, it's not just their backline. It's even their midfield in terms of getting rid of the ball when it's in dangerous positions. They don't do it enough. They still want to play out as if they can. And I think that's going to come back to bite Manchester United here. But I think it being at home also does favor United. So I'm going to go with a draw again. I think United have put themselves in such a difficult position because they beat Liverpool. It puts Arsenal now in the lead when it comes to the title race. And Manchester City gets one up on Liverpool. But if they lose, Liverpool just continue at the top. So for Manchester United right now, they're really stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I think that the best the Red Devils will be able to conjure up here is genuinely just a draw. This record of scoring goals is great, but this record of conceding goals, it really needs to stop. I think, again, I'm going to go with 2-2 here. I may have been wrong against Chelsea, but I think here, I think it's going to be a bit more tight. It's going to be a bit more frantic. But I think both sides concede, and I think, obviously, both, as I've said, I don't think you'll be able to separate the two. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.